Welcome back to the Mastermind. How are you doing this morning? I am glad to be here talking with you, and I hope that you have had an amazing week so far. But I want to get you started out right out of the chute today with the quote of the day from the Daily Mastermind mobile app. So for those of you that have not downloaded that app, you want to get on that because there's a lot of great content in there. But the quote of the day today is, the harder I work, the luckier I get. The harder I work, the luckier I get. That's definitely a mindset. So for those of you that are first time joining us, my name is George Wright III. I am your host with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. And today I want to talk to you about a topic that many people suffer from, but don't really know what to do about. And that's depression. You know, how many of you know someone that takes antidepressants or is always feeling down, or they have cycles in life up and down? You know, that is a topic that a lot of people struggle with, but they struggle with it behind the scenes. So listen, let me digress for a second. The reason I put together the Daily Mastermind, about 5 years ago, was because I wanted to do stuff that I was passionate about. And I had spent the last 25 years in business working with some of the greatest minds, thought leaders, authors, experts, celebrities, whatever it is that truly define what typically we would call success in life. And I've learned a lot. I've got a lot of mentoring. I've got a lot of principles and things that I've seen stand the test of time. And so the idea behind the Daily Mastermind is to give you some daily, you're going to battle every single day for your mindset, your business, your success, relationships, communication. And very few of us have that mastermind effect, that surrounding of positive influence, strategies, tips, practical ways that we can change and grow, because the goal here is to create the best version of ourselves and live the best life possible. And one of the obstacles that stands in your way of doing that is, the emotions and things that you might be struggling with, like depression, stress, anxiety. And the bottom line is, those emotions and things that people are dealing with are just out of control right now. Even myself, I've dealt with a lot of those emotional up and downs. And sometimes, in fact, most times, they parallel and coincide with events that are happening in your life. And that is the key that I want to talk to you about today, because when you allow your emotions and mindset and even success levels to mirror the circumstances around you, you're letting your influence of your exterior environment control you. And as you know, we have two battles that we're fighting in this world, the inner battle and the outer battle. And every day you may not be able to control the outer battle, but you can absolutely, without a doubt, control the inner battle that's going on in your mind, that's going on in your inner world. And so let me ask you again, how many of you know someone who takes these antidepressants or is experiencing depression or anxiety, stress levels at a high level? Because the bottom line is, we know, right? You can sense in yourself or others. And, how is it possible that people can take antidepressants and still be depressed? Or how is it possible that people can't figure out these things in life? And the bottom line is, our patterns of what we focus on and the meaning that we give to the things that happen in our life is really what is, creating that stress and anxiety. And, I've in my daily meditations and personal time, I've been reading a lot more the book that Tony Robbins did called Life Force. It's a great book. It's a recent one that came out. It's like an encyclopedia, for those of you that know what that is, of information. But he has some great concepts in there, and I wanted to kind of mention just a couple of them for you today. So I want you to think about this and kind of sort of use this as a test yourself. Number one, we all have patterns of focus. What you focus on, what you're looking at, what you tend to lean towards putting your attention on. But do you tend to focus more on what you have or what is missing in your life? That's the first thing I want you to think about. Are you focused on what you have, or are you constantly focused on what you're missing in life? Because if you're always focused on what's missing, how can you ever sustain happiness? How can you ever control and contain those emotions? The second thing I want you to think about is, do you tend to focus on what you can or what you cannot control? In other words, are you caught up in what you focus on? But now I'm saying, what are you caught up in? Things that you know you can control or you can't? Because you can't control outside circumstances and things that happen to you and what your boss did and what the weather is or what, those things are. But you can certainly control things like, your body, your emotions, your business, your priorities and things that you set your attention on. So do you tend to focus on what you can or cannot control? And third, I want you to ask yourself, do you tend to focus more on the past, the present, or the future? The past, the present, or the future? Because no matter, what you're trying to do in your life, no matter what strategies you have, whether you're taking prescriptions for depression or whatever it is, as long as you're focused on what's missing and what you can't control, or even past regrets or anxiety over the future, you're going to continue to be frustrated, depressed, anxious. And the bottom line is, the only way you're going to create change is to really drill down on those things. And it's so important, and that's why I love how Tony Robbins puts it. It's what you focus on and the emotions and things and what you do about it that are going to actually create the quality of life that you're looking for. The bottom line is there's no guarantee in life that things are going to go your way. And, that's just not how life works. But you can either hope for less problems, or you can hope for control over the direction of what you do and to become stronger and better and to grow and to be able to handle more problems. Because it's, what I've found, no question, success leaves clues. I've seen this over and over and over again. It's not about eliminating stress in your life. It's not about eliminating negative emotions. It's your ability to deal with stress that is in direct proportion to the level of happiness, fulfillment, and success you're going to live in your life. So you have to learn to do that. So the key is you've got to be able to learn that we can't control everything, but we do control the most important things of all, which is our emotions and our actions and the meaning that we give things that happen to us in our life. Let me say that again. We can't control most things in life, but we absolutely can control the things that are important to us, the meaning we give them, and the emotions and actions that we accept in our life. What you take action on, what emotions that you're seeking, and what attention you give to things. The other thing I want to mention here is that we can't control, these random things, that I'm talking about, like things that happen to you in our external world. But not only do you need to be able to direct your attention to these things that you can control, but you have to learn to create and give a direction to your life. Meaning, if you haven't decided and you haven't gotten clear on what your vision of your life is and what you're trying to accomplish, then you're just wandering around. You're just wandering around trying to figure out each day. You're hoping for a break. You're ready for that thing to happen, that stuff. But see, even when you're hustling and even when you're grinding and even when you're trying to create a life, if you don't have direction, you're still at the whims of whatever's going to happen in your life. You're still wondering when something good is going to come your way, when some opportunity is going to happen, when you're going to catch a break, when things will start to turn for you. And that's relying on the external world. So what I want to emphasize to you today is that if you're struggling with stress or anxiety or depression, the solution isn't just to band-aid the problem with medication. The solution isn't just to grind and hustle and move forward and take action. That's important. And both of those things can make a difference. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are times when, whether it's medication or whether it's the grind or just taking action and moving, is very important. But what I'm trying to emphasize to you here is to do two things. Number one, make sure you have some clarity and direction. And you don't need to know all the answers. You don't have to have the entire map figured out. But you've got to have a direction that you feel purpose and passion behind. And then second, you have to learn and accept that you can shape and control your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and actions. The meaning you give to things, the emotions you experience, the direction and the actions that you take are absolutely within your control. And here's the other great news. Every single one of you has the ability to create your best life. Every single one of you has the power and the greatness inside of you to become the best version of yourself. And it's that process that's going to make you happy. It's the process that's going to make you feel fulfilled. And if you remember that, then everything else is just white noise. Everything else that you're experiencing in life is just noise. Because you're on a path and you're going in the direction that you want to go. And you're doing the things that you can control. So that's the message I want to give you today. And I hope you'll think about that and you'll really spend some time on that. And I want you to do me a favor. I want you to take time for yourself today. And I want you to figure out what it is that you want so that you have that litmus test to control everything against. When things pop up in your life, you're going to decide whether or not that takes you in the direction of where you want to go or a different direction. And you can choose to give the meaning that you give these events in your life. That's my message for today. I hope you have an amazing day. I look forward to talking with you more tomorrow. Oh, by the way, we are going to start and launch our academy, our weekly mentoring academy. Now, this is a private group for entrepreneurs, business owners, and investors. But I think I'm going to open that up to anyone that wants to attend the first or second, maybe third event that's going to be coming up on Thursday nights at 6:30 Mountain Time. So go to the Daily Mastermind Facebook and Instagram account. Check that out. As we open that up, I'll throw a link in there. It'll go down pretty quick because I'm just going to do that for maybe a first couple of sessions. But you're welcome to join us. I hope you have an amazing day. I'll talk with you soon.